Hi guys, Gareth here and welcome to the Splunker88 production. So there is a massive elephant in the room, that is where have I been for the last almost 2 months. In fact, this Saturday it would have been 2 months since I last uploaded a video, if you ignore the one I uploaded last Friday, saying that I'm still around and there will be a video imminently. You may be wondering why there wasn't a video imminently, and I'll be getting onto that very shortly. But you're probably wondering, where have I been? Before I go any further though, I would like to say that I have been having some technical difficulties. In fact, I had some technical difficulties not 20 hours ago, and they really frustrated me last night. I was going to record and upload a video last night because I was actually given a night off by my manager. However, the frustrations with technical aspects of making a video frustrated me to no end, so I just buggered off and played a video game that I'll be talking about in this video. If you're wondering what the technical difficulties were, my mic that I use shut the bed, it seems. And if you're wondering why, actually you may not know, but I'm recording this on my phone in 720p on the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. If you're wondering what phone I use, this is the camera I normally use, which is a Panasonic Lumix DMC G3. This is a hacked Lumix G3 in order to get better quality video and photos and to get rid of the 30-minute record limit. The 30-minute record limit. Anyway, the reason why I'm not using this is to get a decent shot of this. The tripod would need to be further back, and as a result, you probably wouldn't be able to, because that's where the that's where the microphones are actually, and I'm telling you here and now because I've listened to it to myself. If I recorded using that, then this video would be unhearable. Is that a word? You won't better hear anything really. As it currently stands, my legs are through the tripod and it's actually quite close in order to try and capture as much audio as possible with the mic in the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. Also, I did for a while have the Sony Xperia back again, the Sony Xperia XZ Premium. The less said about that phone, the better. I mean, it's good in a lot of other ways, but it's not good in recording videos because you can't get autofocus / AE lock on it, which is something I love. This, obviously, because it's a DSLR like camera, you can do autofocus, you can do manual focus, you can do single autofocus, all that kind of stuff. And it's a bit of a godsend, whereas, you know, I can't use that currently for reasons. So I'm using my phone. So that's out of the way, and I'm recording in 720p in order to be able to upload this from my phone as quick as possible and have it upload and all that kind of stuff. So that's out of the way. You may be wondering where I've been for 2 months, and actually the irony of it is I'm recording this video now because I'm probably going to disappear for another week or so, because if you've been living under a rock or you don't care or don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out this Friday, and I've pre-ordered it, digitally pre-ordered it. It's currently sat on my PlayStation 4 agonizingly antagonizingly because it's preloaded and waiting there, all 96 gig of it is sat there waiting for me to play, and I can't play it yet till it unlocks this Friday. Anyway, yes, that's coming out. And to give you a slight tidbit of information, the campaign itself is 60 hours long. So the game itself is going to be freaking huge, and I'm going to be exploring that game completely and utterly. So I'm probably going to be out of action for a little while while the honeymoon period, should I say, of Red Dead Redemption 2 wears off, and I actually come back to reality and realise, oh yeah, I've got other things to do, like record videos and what have you. Not that I need to record videos, but you guys know what I mean. So that's kind of why I'm recording this video now, because come this Friday I'm going to be completely besotted with Red Dead Redemption 2. Talking about being besotted with a game, the thing that all kicked this off was actually Spider-Man. So Spider-Man released on the 7th of September, I do believe, and I played that for 50 hours within a week. So within a week I was trying to platinum the game. I ended up not platinum the game because I was getting extremely frustrated with parts of the game, and it was starting to sour my opinion of the game. So I decided to put it to one side and then maybe come back and platinum at a different point. I got very hot and heavy with Spider-Man for a week, and I completed the campaign in 2 days. In 2 days, and I then played through the rest of the game or did some side activities and stuff like that for the rest of the week. Played about 50 to 60 hours of that game. Brilliant game, thoroughly enjoyed it. The story was, I'm not going to say phenomenal, but it was actually very well told and had blends of both new and old when it comes to, tried and tested Spider-Man stories, but then still had new stuff brought new stuff to the plate. It was a very good game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And swinging around New York as Spider-Man in 2018, or a game that's made in 2018, or came out in 2018, wasn't made in 2018, obviously, was phenomenal, and it is a very, very good game. So that happened. Then something very soon after Spider-Man happened, I went out and bought this. This is a new 3DS XL. Now, I went out and bought this, but it wasn't without the help of a friend. So I'm not going to name this friend or necessarily say how much they gave me right now until I actually ask them and ask them if they're willing for me to name them on camera, so to speak. But a very generous friend gave me a very generous amount of Nintendo eShop credit, which I basically used to buy the 2 games I had physically, which was Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Mario Tennis Aces. So I bought those. I then sold my physical copies to then go and get this, the new 3DS XL. And then that took up my time for about a week because I was trying to play through, because I didn't complete it, but I was playing through Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Got stuck on it, long story short, which is why I didn't complete it. But I got quite into that for a week or so. So that was basically what I was doing for a while. There are other things that happened over the last 2 months. So apart from which, I've been battling with a cold for about 3 months now. The reason I say cold is because most colds don't last 3 months. I think I've got a chest infection again. I do suffer from asthma, and I do suffer from a chest condition known as costochondritis, both of which make my, respiratory system a lot weaker than normal, so I'm more susceptible to chest infections. In fact, was it this year or last year, I did have 2 back-to-back chest infections, going on to a 3rd back-to-back chest infection. It was only because the nurse practitioner I saw basically realised what was going on and gave me stronger painkillers, stronger antibiotics than they normally would, in order to combat the upcoming chest infection, to completely rid my body of the infection. If you're wondering why they sort of veer away from maybe using too strong of antibiotics, is antibiotics completely flush your system, and your immune system requires some gunk, I suppose, in your system in order to work properly. When you flush your system of all biotics, basically, or bacteria in your body, includes the good bacteria. So sometimes they err on the side of not giving you too strong of antibiotics, but when you've just gone through 2 back-to-back chest infections and you're about to get a 3rd chest infection, there comes a point where they're like, yeah, we should probably give you some strong antibiotics to get rid of this stuff, and so you can go on with your life. But having said that, I think I'm currently having another chest infection, which kind of sucks, kind of feels like a permanent cold, but at some point I will get to the doctors and get that sorted and get the antibiotics I need to flush that out my system. So I've been feeling very tired a lot recently. I've been feeling very down, not really up to doing a lot, so all I've been doing is really gaming recently. And then 2 other things happened that I'm not going to speak about too explicitly. But there was some other stuff happening on YouTube. And there was some various things happening on YouTube, to be honest. And I kind of consciously decided to keep my head down for a bit. There's a few channels I follow on YouTube that I'm not going to name them by name. And I've nothing against those channels, by the way, absolutely nothing against those channels. But I follow these channels and obviously watch them. And something was going on those channels that made me, I suppose, paranoid for lack of a word, if not very worried and very cautious about how I proceed with things. Now, potentially because of a revelation that happened last week, Thursday or Friday last week, I may be out of the woods, but I just wanted to keep my head down for a little bit. Let's just say a couple of channels were having some outside influence that actually caused them some real shit. And I just wanted to keep my head down and sort of stay the course, keep out of the storm sort of thing, sort of keep out of the frame for a bit. And I will say one thing, is that there is a lot of stuff that has been going on YouTube recently that has made me a lot more, I suppose, cynical and a lot more wary of YouTube in general. In fact, I'll be honest right now, I even considered quitting YouTube and just packing it all in and moving on with my life at one point. That prospect is still on the table. If I'm being completely honest, I haven't completely decided whether I'm staying or going. I'm doing this video just to get you guys up to date with what's been going on. But I'll be honest, there has been quite a few occasions over the last 2 months where I wouldn't say seriously thought about it, but I've definitely considered doing a video saying, that's it, I'm done, bye, sort of thing. But there are several videos I've watched recently that kind of re-energized me and reinvigorated me to start doing videos again. So it's kind of a, you can never take away, for someone who's done this as long as I have, and that's almost 11 years at this point, it's hard to take that away. I quite often go through the process of going, should I carry on with YouTube? Should I not carry on with YouTube? I then watch some YouTube and then, I watch a video that reinvigorates me, re-enthuses me, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do videos. Off I go, it's going to do videos. But there are a lot of parts of YouTube, especially recently, that have really disenthused me a lot, to be honest with you. And it's a constant battle trying to, you get what I'm trying to say, guys. It's, on one hand, I get super enthused to do a video, then I see the kind of shit that goes on YouTube, and then, one thing I will say, when I played Spider-Man for that week, for those 50, 60 hours, I didn't touch YouTube. I think once I went on YouTube for a little bit, and it was glorious. I had no idea what was going on YouTube, didn't really give a shit what was going on YouTube, and thoroughly enjoyed it. And when I was playing Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, I, again, had very little context of what was going on YouTube. Watched the odd video here and there, but I wasn't watching things, that actively. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I have been watching less and less YouTube over the last 2 months. Recently, I've gotten back into YouTube. But again, it's hard to, someone who's actively watched YouTube for the years that YouTube's been around, it's hard to separate yourself from YouTube, so to speak. But, I think that's all of the updates I have for now. I'm not really sure if there's anything else right now I have to talk about. Also, I should say I have bought Black Ops 4. I bought Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on Sunday, and I've already played the best part, over actually 20 hours of that game, mainly the Blackout mode, which I'm thoroughly enjoying and find it very, very fun, to be honest. And I've been playing with friends and all that, so there's all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the updates I wanted to tell you guys. Also, I should quickly say at the end of this video, this room was out of action for a bit, so I wasn't able to record in this room, or record a video in this room. I am now, so here I am, rock me like a hurricane. No. So here I am back in this room, and I'll continue recording in this room for the foreseeable future. Anyway, guys, thank you for being very patient. I will do my best to record and upload videos, but as I said, I haven't quite made a decision whether I'm staying on YouTube or not. But if you feel, obviously, you feel free to leave any comments down below of any words of encouragement you might want to give me, or any suggestions for videos going forward, or just generally have a chat with me. You know, as I do like to say, YouTube is a social media platform. Let's make it social. Let's take it back from the trolls. And until next time, guys, you take care. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheerio.